Tom Hanks is with us. Good to see you,
Hey,
Tom.
Mark, how are you?
Normally we see each other on the night that you're going, what do you think of this guy right here?
Oh, yes, normally. It's a common, everyday occurrence.
It is. Good to see you again. With Star Trek, with Star Wars, space travel, when you get up there, something breaks down, Chewbacca kicks something, and off the spaceship goes. When things break down in Apollo 13, this is serious business.
Well, yes, it is. Yeah. I think that people have become... I think our movie actually has something of a learning curve to it. You got to remember what orbital... You got to be reminded that there is such little margin for error in outer space, and that orbital mechanics and physics have as much to do with your survival as, say, a lightsaber.
Now, one of the things we were both talking, I remember where I was when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. I don't remember where I was when Apollo 13 happened. That was one of the America was sort of blasé about this.
Well, yeah, it was about 9 months afterwards, and actually Apollo 12 had already gone to the moon, and their color camera broke. So we had actually gone without video images of men walking on the moon for the better part of a year, and people were, I think they were done with it. I remember waking up and reading in the San Francisco Chronicle that there had been an explosion. That was big news, and I ran home from school in order to watch I was going to say Jules Bergman. Jules Bergman, the other network, and Walter Cronkite as well, to tell us what was going on.
Apollo 13, liftoff at 13:13 military hours.
Houston time, yes.
Yeah, you can't find a hotel in America, it seems, with a 13th floor. You hung out with these guys. Did that 13 thing ever come into play?
Well, it's interesting to see how the bureaucracy of sort of NASA, if it operates. If they had jumped over 13, that means they would have been caving into this idea of superstition, and they were not in the superstition business. And that would have meant whatever was number 14 would have actually been number 13, so it was a no-win situation. So, the times the number 13 comes up in what actually happened is really quite amazing. The explosion took place on April 13th. If you add certain numbers and letters together, you come up with a total of 13. It's very odd.
You know, I remember also one of the cool things, you either wanted to be a Beatle back then, or an astronaut. They were the coolest jobs on the planet.
That's it?
That's about it. Can you think of anything else?
Captain Satellite. He was on Channel 2. he hosted the Three Stooges in the afternoon. I sort of wanted to be him.
A distant third.
Well, yeah, maybe.
But, I mean, driving the Corvettes, you see that in the movie. These guys were, I mean, the cowboys that got to go do things that we wanted to go do. Well,
what's interesting about it is that no one was getting rich off of this. You know, the reason that they were doing it was because they were pilots and they just wanted to be at the place at the time. And really, NASA in Houston was it. If your business is to fly machines in the sky, then you weren't going to be getting any better or higher or more exciting than being in the space program. But, you know, Jim and his cohorts essentially made, you know, like maybe $18,000 a year. So the glamour factor had its perks, but no one was making a lot of money off of their celebrity.
Would you go?
I'd go in a minute, yeah. I honestly, I don't know what. The only thing to be gained maybe was, Tom, we'd like to send you up on the space shuttle and stick needles in your eyes and see if that hurts when you're up there. I'd do it. I'd do it in a minute.
Well, if you do it, let us know.
Okay, all right.
Try to get out of that eye needle thing.
Well, okay.
Pasadena on that one. Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Apollo 13.